New dawn for Kariakor market starters as President Samia issues directives to new appointees. Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, commits $40 million to boost agribusiness.
We believe AGRA as a key player, as people who have the voice.
Good evening, I am Nasa Kingu. Thank you very much for joining us. Just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. We start in Zanzibar, where the President Samia Suluhu Hassan has instructed the newly sworn-in Minister of Industry and Trade, Salaam, to ensure the Kariakor market operates 24 hours upon the completion of the reconstruction. Speaking during the swearing ceremony held in Zanzibar, President Samia also insists that all loopholes exploited by some businessmen and women to evade tax should be dealt with, calling for internal revenue collection system revamp to ensure sufficient government income for country's operations. Here are more details.
4 recently appointed leaders taking oath before assuming their assigned designations.
Mimi Selemani Said Jafo
naapa kwamba
nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Mwenyezi Mungu nisaidie.
President Samia starts with giving instructions to the new Minister of Industry and Trade, Dr. Salaam Jafo, on the challenges surfaced by traders, especially at the Kariakor International Market.
Kwa hiyo nataka ukaifanye Kariakor iwe 24 hours service.
I want Kariakor to be an international market, for the market to produce and to continue expanding. I don't want to hear about challenges that exist.
She furthermore instructs on ensuring the small-scale traders, well known as machinga, do not collide with other businessmen when doing business.
Kuna suala la machinga.
Work closely with the regional district officer and the police force to organize Kariakor markets, especially when dealing with the machingas. One road might be given to them to continue with their businesses, but they should allow the business owner with license to do businesses as well as pay taxes.
President Samia emphasizes that if organized well, tax collected at the Kariakor market can suffice the budgets of 3 ministries in the country.
I'm doing a job. You cannot work alone. You must work closely with TRA and other ministries that contribute to the strengthening of other businesses.
On the area of clean cooking energy, President Samia gives her directives to the newly sworn-in Minister of State, Office Vice President's Office, Union and Environment, Dr. Ashatu Kijaji.
And talking about the issue of clean energy for cooking, as a mother, you know the importance of clean energy for cooking. And this is on my agenda.
Coming to Dar es Salaam now, young people involved in the agricultural value chain say in order for them to fully engage in agribusiness, they require access to technology, working capital, and agricultural data that allows them to provide guidance and comprehend the true needs of the industry. They made the call during the conference held in Dar es Salaam, organized by the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA, which aims to speed up agricultural transformation in Africa. Rehema Sababila was there and has prepared the following report.
The conference brings together 160 representatives from various agribusiness groups aiming to identify the needs of young people in the agricultural sector to position them better to benefit from $40 million financial support provided by Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA.
The challenges that we have been facing is in terms of data. We need data, and we believe AGRA as a key player, as people who have the voice, are playing a very great role in agriculture. They can help us as youth to access this data.
Include working capital, machinery, technology. That's all of this, by the help that is given through the capital that the that the youth are getting.
Speaking at the conference, AGRA's country director Vianney Royendela says the organization hopes to create 3 million jobs through quality seeds, markets, policy and development of youth agricultural enterprises through the financial support.
We want them to have dignified employment within the sector. To do that, you really need to do diligently, first of all, understand, reach them, provide them job opportunities, and then refine the job opportunities and provide them the incentives such as matching grants, loans, and everything that would make them have a dignified employment within that one. To do that, they need to invest in things that are very important, such as extension, digital space, processing and marketing of this produce on the ground.
On his part, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Gerard Mweri, says the government is committed in engaging with youth, addressing the issues and facilitate their participation in agriculture.
It is impossible to make programs for young people and yet they are not listened to. This is a session that we have had today, but we will also continue to have this session in different regions to get their opinions on what shall be evolved.
We anticipate our population to double by 2050. And we have this big group of youth whom we haven't engaged better in the agriculture sector, which is, underutilized. So the BBT program brings in the youth and women to contribute in the food security, but the well-being of the Tanzanians.
The $40 million that will be given is a grant where the goal is to help the youth groups in agribusiness to boost productivity and create more jobs. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sabili, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Rehema Sabili, for that report. The Minister of Blue Economy and Fisheries in Zanzibar, Shaban Ali Othman, says the resolutions agreed at the third Blue Economy Conference should be used to improve maritime sector in Tanzania and to boost the economy. Shaban Ali Othman made the remarks during the closing of the third Blue Economy Conference for the year 2024 in Dar es Salaam. Peter Mganga was there and has also prepared the following report.
It is the climax of the third Blue Economy Conference for the year 2024, which is ending with the 7 resolutions aiming at enhancing the blue economy sector in Tanzania. Here, the Minister of Blue Economy and Fisheries, Shaban Al Othman, emphasizes on putting into action the 7 resolutions so as to bring the intended results to the country's economy.
Hakikisheni haya ambayo mmenieleza mmejikita nayo.
Make sure that these things that have been explained, you are focusing on them. Then you have to deal with them properly so that in the future we can see great and good results that come from you. We want this conference to be the answer to many challenges facing Africa on these issues of the blue economy. On the other hand, the principal of Dar es Salaam Maritime Institute, DMI, Dr. Tumaini Gurumo, vows to work on the agreed resolutions.
Katika uwanda huu wa maritime, katika kila jambo ni muhimu kushirikiana.
Even in this plain maritime, in everything, it's necessary to cooperate. That's why there is even a resolution. There is a resolution that talks about cooperation, that our sea wants us to work together. And in this blue economy, it's divided into different sectors. And that's also wants us to work in our sectors. And this is the kind of thing we want to work in our sectors, one by one, but cooperate with each other.
More than 1,000 participants have participated in the 2-day conference that includes stakeholders in the blue economy sector. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
Assistant Director of Investment in the Private Sector from the President's Office, Planning and Investment, Fadhili Chilumba, says the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, has committed $200,000 to transform the newly modern industrial park in Tanzania. The industrial park is termed to be a pioneer industrial park development located 71.5 kilometers from Dar es Salaam city center. He made the remarks when he was visiting the park, revealing that the project is expected to be completed in 9 months. The designing and construction team leader of the park, Engineer Charles Bilinga, says 25 investors have shown interest in building factories in the area, while 3 other factories have already started the initial construction stages.
As you can see, there's a huge investment ongoing here. If the industrial park that will depend after a few years, it will be very big. We want it to be of international standards. UNIDO will come to provide training to the managers of this industrial park to ensure that they follow the international criteria, to ensure that our industrial park have international standards, so that the products produced in the factories can find a market international.
In order to make sure that such developments can be environmentally friendly and socially inclusive, UNIDO is supporting the transition of industrial parks towards eco-industrial parks. An eco-industrial park has been jointly defined in the international framework, which has been developed in 2021 by the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, by the German Technical Corporation GIZ, and by the World Bank Group, identifies 64 indicators in 4 categories, which define the better performance of an industrial park, so it can become an eco-industrial park.
There are 64 benchmarks. So although many times, we see, okay, we have a water problem, so let's do this. We have electricity problem, let's do this. But when you have list of 64 items, this will give you comprehensive understanding, so that you will not miss something important out. And that those things can be considered from day one. And I'm sure when Kamka will start, the factories are here, and later on, because in next few years, there will be an international standard for eco-industrial parks.
Modern industrial park, the name itself speaks for itself. It shows the vision, what we intend, where we intend to go in the global outlook, in global perspective. Not only doing, as you were saying, productive industries and whatever, which will be harmful to the community. We want to be unique in that sense, to differentiate ourselves from the others maybe in the region, not only global, but in the region, East Africa, SADC, to be one of the best performing industrial park. So with what you are telling us here, it's a very good opportunity for us to learn. We embrace long life learning.
The Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, TBC, and the Korea Radio Promotion Association, RAPA, which is under the Ministry of Science and Information Technology, have reached an agreement which allows both to continue to cooperate in improving the broadcasting infrastructure based on technological changes. The Director General of TBC, Ayub Rioba, says the move is a continuation of the collaboration between TBC and the Korea Radio Promotion Association, where previously RAPA provided a training to TBC team covering a wide range of content and technical areas.
Let me express our sincere gratitude to the government of Korea for the support from the beginning, from the building, the studios, the facilities, the training, and the memorandum of understanding that we have just signed today for further cooperation in other areas. We highly appreciate. And as I've said before, we don't take this for granted. In our village where I come from, I was saying that what you're doing is like you're giving us not only fish nets for us to go fishing, but you're giving us skills to do that, so that when you go, we can continue to do fishing successfully.
President of the Institute of Internal Auditors in Tanzania, Zelia Njeza, says the upcoming annual general meeting of the Institute is expected to discuss a new industry-wide international practice standard which will boost internal audit efficiency. He made the remarks in Dar es Salaam while announcing the date for the general meeting of the Institute that will be held from September 30th to October 4th in Arusha. Zelia adds that the meeting will also discuss some of the key areas that have repeatedly been mentioned in the Auditor General's report.
So for internal auditors, we have new standards, and every practicing internal auditor knows we are going to have our new standards effective implementation is January 2025. And it's not really a new thing, but we have realigned to meet the demand of our auditors as well as our stakeholders. It's a more simplified standard with more guidance on how to go about various processes. Even for the board, these new standards, they are spelling out what are the expectations from the board. As a board chair, as audit committee chairs, what is expected of you when it comes to to your responsibility of overseeing the internal audit function. So they are very clearly specified there, and we'll get opportunity as well to communicate to our audit and risk committee, even the board, on what is expected out of them with these new standards.
Just to ensure that we continue to solution for those repetitive issues that are being highlighted in the CAG report. So that will be one of the things that we'll be discussing. Of course, we definitely have time to discuss on the Finance Bill 2024 that has just been recently tabled tabled in the Parliament. I mean, just to understand some of the key or major movers in that budget, and then see how best internal auditors we can collaborate with some of our key stakeholders to ensure that we do implement those requirements.
About 100 stakeholders are expected to participate in the conference. The Director General of the Sugar Board of Tanzania, Professor Kenneth Begesi, says the government has amended the Sugar Industry Act to give the National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, the right to import sugar to ensure all year-round availability of sugar and help the growth of the local sugar factories. Speaking to journalists in Dar es Salaam, Professor Mbegesi says the government will continue to protect investment in the sugar industry in the country and the consumers at the same time.
Watakuwa wanaingiza sukari
NFRA will be importing sugar which has been proved by Sugars Board of Tanzania. Board will be deciding how many tons should be imported by NFRA. Some sugar will be reserved so that to be attentive with the disaster.
NFRA anaingiza. Mwaka huu hatuhitaji sukari. NFRA kama anakuwa na reserve ni ile buffer stock.
This comes following various comments raised by sugar stakeholders in the country after the amendment of the Sugar Industry Act 2001, which gives mandate to NFRA to import sugar. Tanzania needs 49,000 tons of sugar per month, translating to 508,000 tons annually. The industry continues to attract more investors in the sector to meet the country's need. As the United States of America recently celebrated its 248th years of independence, which was held in Dar es Salaam, where attributes to great American icons as well as artwork from Tanzanian artists were displayed. Here are more details with Kanki Mwaigomole.
America, a country filled with a powerful blend of people from almost all nations, cultures and traditions who came together to build a dreamland of democracy, freedom and independence. During the celebrations, the American ambassador to Tanzania, Dr. Michael Anthony Battle, says commitment to giving back to the community and to volunteering has been a hallmark of American civic life.
248 years ago, our founding fathers came together and declared a new nation with a revolutionary concept. They dared to believe that all people are created equal, that all of us, each and every one of us, all of us are free to govern ourselves, free to determine the kind of government we want, and free to know that the best government is the government that is by the people and for the people.
Furthermore, America's strength lies in its diversity and community spirit, insisting Tanzania and the U.S. need one another as just like the United States. Tanzania's strength also comes from the diversity of its people, its rich history, and its culture. Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East Africa Cooperation, January Makamba, congratulated the United States of America, underscoring United States contributing to mankind is one of the greatest contribution.
It is the expectation of all of us that the United States will continue to play an important role and its power will be deployed for the good of mankind. And we are confident that because we know history is full of incidences where this has been the case, that American power has been deployed for the good of mankind.
Then he highlights the diplomatic relations between the two nations.
The United States has been with us, has played an important role in our development journey. As of now, and over the past few years, it has been the largest bilateral partner in terms of contributions. Almost every America's development program is here in Tanzania, whether it's PEPFAR, whether it's PMI, whether it's Feed the Future, whether it's Power Africa, and so forth, and so forth. We are grateful for the generosity of American people. And I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that the President, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, desire is to see to it that this relationship grows stronger. And I'm very encouraged by your words that there will be more engagements of the highest level between our two countries.
It was a day full of fireworks and vibes. Brotherhood and working together has been seen as a positive move between Tanzania and the United States of America, as America celebrates 248 years of its independence. Reporting from the American ambassador's residence in Dar es Salaam, I am Kanki Mwegomole, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Kanki Mwegomole, for that report. At 52, good to see Sugu still got his vibe right. Now, before we wind up the local news tonight, let us now take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday, that is from Monday to Friday, to know all the latest in exchange rates. International news is up next. And in international news, we'll bring you the latest from Kenya, where the President William Ruto has formed an independent task force to carry out a comprehensive audit of the country's public debt. Addressing the nation, President Ruto says that the task force will be required to provide a detailed report within the next 3 months.
This audit will provide the people of Kenya with clarity on the extent and nature of our debt, how public resources have been expended, and will also recommend proposals for managing our public debt in a manner that is sustainable and does not burden future generations. Accordingly, in keeping with the enhanced austerity measures we have committed to implement and align government expenditures within the budgetary implications of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024, the following actions shall be taken with immediate effect towards the realization of the new budget. 47 state corporations with overlapping and duplicating functions will be dissolved, resulting in the elimination of their operational and maintenance costs, and their functions will be integrated into the respective line ministries. Staff currently employed by the affected corporations will be transferred to ministries and other state agencies within government.
President Ruto says the government of Kenya will reduce the budget by Kenya shillings 177 billion and borrow Kenya shillings 169 billion in a bid to make up for the Kenya 346 billion Kenyan shillings lost by the withdrawal of the Financial Bill 2024. And that's the international news. The sports news is up next. And in sports news, Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says the government is committed to host the historical events of African Nations Championships CHAN 2024 and African Cup of Nations AFCON 2027 at highest standards. Speaking to TBC News in Dar es Salaam, Prime Minister Majaliwa adds that the key infrastructure needed to host the international competitions of that magnitude will be of high quality upon completion.
Tunakwenda kuhakikisha kuwa tunahusisha pia na sekta ambazo pia zinamiliki maeneo mbalimbali. Mfano Chama cha Mapinduzi.
We are going to make sure that we involve the sectors that own different areas. For example, CCM to give us some stadiums, but to cooperate with us in renovating other stadiums without forgetting the media industry, which is our hope in informing people.
Kuhamasisha Watanzania na kutoa taarifa ya maandalizi ya ndani ya nchi huko nje ya nchi. Kwa sekta za habari nayo pia ni sekta ambayo sisi tunaiona ina mchango mkubwa.
The Confederation of African Football CAF has granted Tanzania to host the big continental football showpiece, African Nations Championships CHAN 2024 and African Cup of Nations AFCON 2027 after the country meeting all the needed football tournaments requirements. That's the sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours starting from 9 p.m. tonight.
Hello and welcome again to the next 24 hours of forecast starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omar. Wind is expected to flow at 30 kilometers per hour over the entire coast, Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika, while over Lake Nyasa, wind speed is expected to reach 20 kilometers per hour. And tonight, most part of our country are expected to feature partly cloudy, while cool condition is expected to persist over some areas of our country, especially over southwestern highland. And the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 80 degrees Celsius in Mbeya and the Njombe regions. And tomorrow, most part of our country are expected to feature partly cloudy condition and longer sunny periods. And now, let's have a look on the next 4 days forecast over some regions of our country. In Dar es Salaam, we expected light rain shower, especially in 10th. Dodoma, the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 15 degrees Celsius. And Mbeya, the lowest minimum temperature is expected to be 7 degrees Celsius. While in Mwanza region, we're expecting lowest minimum temperature of 16 degrees Celsius. Kilimanjaro region, we're expected the lowest minimum temperature to be 17 degrees Celsius. And Morogoro region, we're expected the lowest minimum temperature to be 18 degrees Celsius. While Arusha region, we're expecting the lowest minimum temperature to be 15 degrees Celsius. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, that is all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Nasa King. On behalf of the whole team, we wish you a good night and a beautiful weekend.